call to order the Homewood Planning Commission meeting for Tuesday, November the 2nd, 2021. Mr. Goodwin, will you call the roll?
All right. Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Ms. Wilcutt.
Here.
Mr. Harwell.
Here.
Mr. Respento.
Here.
Mr. Armstead.
Here.
Mr. Broadhead. Ms. Andrus.
Here.
Mr. Cronteras. And Mr. Roberts. Okay.
So it appears we have a quorum.
Yes.
Pre-meeting correspondence, I asked for any messages from anyone who couldn't make it tonight for feedback on minutes on the last meeting. I got none. Does anybody have any additions or corrections to the minutes? If there are none, I'd entertain a motion to approve as read.
Second.
And I'll have a roll, I'm sorry, let's do a vote by acclamation. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The motion passes.
Okay.
Communications from the chair. Mr. Roberts is absent. Vice chair is none. Old business, we have none. New business, we have a single case. The applicant is Trent Beasley. Mr. Beasley here. Request to rezone the subject property from I-2 to NPD zoning classification to permit the renovation of an existing single-family house. Let the applicant come forward, present this case. We'll have any members of the audience who would like to present questions, and then members from the commission who may have questions. If you'd like to come forward, please present your, state your name and your address for the record.
Trent Beasley. Address is actually Morris, 8354 Morris Hardest Road, Morris, Alabama. And I'm here for 1832 25th Court South and try to rezone. We purchased a house and it needs updating quite a bit. So when we tried to get a permit type deal, some of the stuff is out of code, like the kitchen area, ceiling's too low. And they told us basically couldn't raise it up on account of it's on I-2. And there's houses like across the street and down the street. And the only thing we've got institutional, I guess, is the community center in the back of the yard. And we're just trying to see if we can get it rezoned residential so we can repair it.
Okay, so we will see if there are any members of the audience who have questions, and then following that, so if you'd like to have a seat, then we'll have you come up after we've presented our questions, and you can address all at the same time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Beasley. Come on up and state your name and your address for the record, please, and then hear your questions.
My name is Marlena Burnett. I reside at 2511 19th Street South, kind of like almost across the street adjacent to this property. I have no objection to the MPD from institutionalized. I have no idea why it was there in that zoning in the first place. And looking at the map, it looks like the other two houses on the other side of the center are also sitting in institutionalized. That's kind of strange to me. My question is, I guess I'm a little confused on the, at the top under Mr. Beasley's name, it says subdivision plat of land. And then at the bottom it says purpose. And then it says for renovation of an existing single-family home. So am I not understanding subdivision, and is he trying to split the lots up? And is he trying to just renovate the structure that's there?
Understood. Okay. Thanks, Ms. Brissette. Anybody else in the audience have any questions? All right, Mr. Beasley, if you'll come back up, and you could entertain Ms. Brazette's question and also any questions from the commission members, and we'll consider the public forum as closed.
Okay.
So first question from Ms. Brazette is on the actual dialogue, or I'm sorry, the verbiage for subdivision plat of land. Is that, can you maybe expand and just give a narrative of your intent with the property, and then we'll go from there.
At this time, we're planning on remodeling the area right there where the house and the garage is at. The garage may go away. It depends on the drawings we're gonna wind up presenting to the inspection service. And basically after that, it's just that little strip area. We ain't not adding anything except for a house. We're having a remodel. I know we're gonna have to do a lot of remodeling because it doesn't pass code. And that's kind of where we're at right now. Once we get the drawing in place, we'll present it to the inspections and get it, see if we can get it passed.
So is your intent then with the garage, do you expect to have a separate residence as the
No,
garage?
it's just gonna be one single family deal. It may be a different garage after we expand it, and it may be just renovated where it's at.
So I guess the real question is, there's no intent to subdivide that
No,
plot?
no, none at all. Yeah, we're just basically remodeling the house and making it bigger, because the way, right now it's a 3-1, and the
Right.
kitchen is like this high.
I get it.
So, yeah.
And I'll just confirm that NPD zoning is single-family resident. I mean, they can't split, he's not here to ask for a split lot, and he can't build anything but a single-family
No,
home.
it's just a single
With
family,
NPD
yeah.
zoning, so.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add something for the record. We didn't put this in the report, but we did a lot of, we believe this could have been a mapping error, that when the community center was zoned, it just got squared off and got his property. But we could not find any documentation for when it was rezoned to I-2 that gave us a legal description. So we couldn't confirm it was, but we couldn't confirm it wasn't. So, but our belief is that it was never supposed to have been rezoned to institution if it was, because it's never been a part of those parcels. So, there was nothing left to do but to go through the formality of
Steps.
changing it back to NPD, because we couldn't confirm, you know, whether it had been mistakenly done or not.
And to clarify, we're talking about two different things, right? We're talking about rezoning versus he would have to come back if he wanted to, subdivide the lot or whatever. So we're not, we're really just talking about the changing for the zoning for this property.
Right.
Yeah.
I do have a question. You mentioned we multiple times, Mr. Beasley. Do you have ownership in the property at all? Or do you have any ownership percentage of the property?
Do I have, I'm
Do you
sorry?
have any ownership property, any ownership percentage in the property? Do you?
I work for the guy that owns the property. We're like all over Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, everywhere else. I'm the guy that handles everything in Alabama.
Are you construction manager, or are you a licensed
Project
general
manager
contractor?
type deal, yes. I'm the one that oversees everything that goes on.
Okay.
Make sure the paperwork's right.
All right. Any other questions? None? All right. Would like to entertain a motion for this case.
Move to approve.
Have a motion to approve and a
Second.
second. All right, have a motion to approve and a second for case RZ 211101. Mr. Goodwin, will you call the roll?
I'm sorry, who seconded the motion or didn't?
Winslow.
Okay. Okay. I'll back this then. All right. Okay. Ms. Wilcott?
Yes.
Mr. Harwell? Yes. Mr. Respento?
Yes.
Mr. Armstead? Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Andrus?
Yes.
And that completes
All right, motion passes. Your motion passes.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other business? All right, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We're adjourned.